Mr. Bickford, could I have a motion to approve the minutes of the June 2010 meeting, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Seconded, and it's approved. I'm not sure where my fellow board members are at the moment, but I know we're all a little bit overtired since we started at 7:30. But I do apologize for that. Are there any changes to the Safety and Security Committee work plan?
No.
This is a kind of special meeting because this is the meeting where representatives from each group present their Excellence in Safety Awards for 2009. It's the only meeting that we really get to see these groups come forward and describe their projects. So each group has been asked to spend 5 minutes discussing what made it special and why it's special. And it's the most fun thing we do in safety and security. So with that, the first presentation is the conflict avoidance training by New York City Transit Buses.
Yes, and we have Wayne Galante, Safety Officer, Department of Buses. Wayne?
Yes. Thank you, Cheryl. Liz Soto, Manager of Customer Relations Training, is going to deliver the presentation.
Thank you, Liz.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Bus Operator Action Committee, also known as BOAC, we would like to thank the MTA Board for the honor of receiving the Chairman's Safety Award and the opportunity to share our experience with the Conflict Avoidance Program. Today we will be talking about the steps we've taken to address the assault trends, and how the program helped develop the bus operator skills in order to avoid the conflicts. There were awareness programs and an ongoing trend analysis to monitor the process we've made. On May 5th, 2002, a bus operator on the B60 in Brooklyn was stabbed, and the perpetrator ultimately lost his life. Due to the rising number of assaults, the BOAC was formed. The Bus Operator Action Committee is a working committee group we entered with the TWU to see how we could best protect our operators. It was designed to be an open forum that is jointly chaired and well represented by both management as well as the TWU Local 100. Basically, we have a representative from each of the TWU depots as well as the TWU Central leadership. New York City Transit, and depending on the topic or the subject matter, other relevant subject matter experts are also involved to form this committee and meeting attendees. At the end of the day, this BOAC was designed to be a forum where ideas and recommendations could be served or exchanged openly and freely. After one of our bus operators was killed on the B46 on December 1st, 2008, the conflict avoidance program itself was developed. The goals were to develop the bus operator skills based on previous experience and knowledge and confidence. We were trying to ensure that they take command of their responses with tact and communicate appropriately, and have them build on their prior professional development and training. Historically, the bus operators receive customer service training as well as how to deal with difficult people. But now veteran bus operators are experiencing what the statistics show, which include lots of spitting, verbal assaults, and other assaults. Therefore, modifications were needed. We addressed the bus operators' main concerns and issues via role plays, and we emphasize confidence and control. Some examples of those issues might be when they change routes, fare increases, irritated customers that might throw out some expletives, and we emphasize not taking things personally. The security department has been extremely supportive of us with their incident tracking system. We show videos with the message that is consistent with our training, for example, workplace violence. Here we emphasize, notice something, tell management immediately. In other words, personnel, we have to watch one another. We discuss and hand out bulletins as training and working documents. We have received positive feedback from our bus operators, and they have requested refreshers and updates periodically. We get input from system safety as far as statistics are concerned, which enable us to determine our effectiveness. And as other issues do arise, we will modify and revise or update existing programs. In October and November of this year, thanks to the joint initiative with the New York City Transit Security and New York Police Department, we will be implementing a pilot program into our 19A training for Brooklyn Division. Thank you.
Any questions or comments, Bob? First of all, that was a really great succinct report.
Thank you.
I very deeply much regret that conflict avoidance training is needed for public servants doing a daily good job. But I think the reason you got the Excellence Award is because this will provide us with a basis. It's a program that all of our operating agencies could profit from. In fact, I think each of us as individuals could profit from it. So thank you very much for bringing that to us. Next, we'll have Capital Program Management, the rehabilitation of the Culver Line Viaduct, Phase 2, from New York City Transit.
And we have Jacques Maillard, Construction Manager 43, Capital Program Management.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jacques Maillard. I am the construction manager in charge of the Culver Line Viaduct Rehabilitation Project for the New York City Transit CPM, Division of Infrastructure and Facilities. This presentation is to give you a very good idea about some of the great safety initiatives we have undertaken and how they have impacted the contractor's performance. It is worth mentioning that back in May of 2010, the Chairman's Group Excellence in Safety was presented to our group due to our strong commitment and dedication to safety. At first, let me give you a brief overview of the Culver Line Viaduct Rehabilitation Project. The Culver Line Viaduct was built around 1930 to carry the F and G lines over the Gowanus Canal and local streets in Brooklyn, and has never been substantially rehabilitated since. The Culver Line Viaduct is the area shown between Carroll Street and 4th Avenue Station. Slide number 3, please. Over time, the viaduct has been severely deteriorated due to water infiltration, and as a remedy, a safety netting system was installed approximately 10 years ago all over the structure to protect pedestrians, private properties, and park area from falling spoiled concrete. Next slide. The viaduct is approximately 1 mile long and carries a 4-track system. At this time, the middle tracks are being rehabilitated to be soon followed by the local tracks. The scope of work for this contract consists of, but not limited to, removing existing tracks, switches, signals, and track drainage system, repairing and waterproofing the viaduct concrete deck, installing new tracks, new switches, new signals, and a new track drainage system. The scope also includes the construction of a new central instrument room and a new signal relay room to house signal equipment. The bid cost is $178.8 million. The overall construction schedule is 47 months, and the contract was awarded on March 5th of 2009. Next slide, please. This is a view of the old configuration of the switches and signals at 4th Avenue Station. They will be all replaced and upgraded under this contract. To properly address and coordinate safety on Culver, this is a brief summary of what we have been doing that makes us so unique and successful. The first step is to identify the main hazard, which in our case is the interference between construction activities, personnel, and train movement, which can be broken down as follows: access for personnel, removing and delivering materials and equipment, and exposure to adjacent live tracks. The second step is to mitigate the hazard. We were able to do that by providing 2 secure stair towers for personnel access from street to the work area, creating a more controlled, safer, and isolated environment in which personnel didn't have to cross live tracks all day long on the flagging, increasing the risk for injuries and train delays. This is the only way they can get in and out of the job site. Next slide. By installing a gantry crane on tracks out of service to remove and deliver materials onto the structure, eliminating injuries and potential injuries and train delays. By installing new track barricades between tracks out of service and active tracks, creating, like the stair towers, a more controlled, safer, and isolated environment that greatly reduces the exposure of personnel to adjacent live tracks, train movement, and also train delays. Next slide. By also using cranes to hoist crossovers from street onto the structure over complete shutdown. Next slide. And by an extensive coordination with the other projects listed in this slide. This level of coordination is one of the many challenges that come along managing culvert. To completely eliminate the hazard, other safety initiatives, in addition to the previous ones, are also in place. They are daily safety walkthrough by New York City Transit and contractor to identify and quickly address any potential safety hazard. Daily safety toolbox meetings to ensure the crew understands the task at hand and how it should be carried out safely. Oversight by the Office of System Safety, the Owner Control Insurance Program and CPM Safety, and a dedicated workforce, which means keeping always personnel familiar with the daily routines. Next slide. This slide summarizes some of the great benefits of all these safety initiatives. For instance, the contractor was able to work 128,752 hours without any lost time accident. This is very impressive. The exposure of personnel to adjacent live tracks and train movements, as well as the impact on train operations, were greatly reduced by the installation of the track barricades, the street access towers, and the gantry crane. Our budget to provide required transit authority services, such as service diversions, walk trains flagging, was reduced by 29% due to the implementation of these safety initiatives. The same could be said for our in-house cost administration, which was also reduced by 12.5% due to the implementation of the same safety initiatives. At this point, I should emphasize that the installation of the track barricades was the leading or determining factor behind the success of all the other safety initiatives. Without these track barricades, none of this would have been possible. They really made the difference. In closing, I would say that the track barricades are a very good system when it comes to safety for contractors' personnel, New York City Transit personnel, and minimum impact on train operations. We will definitely continue to pursue this control moving forward as part of lessons learned. Thank you.
Very impressive.
It is very impressive. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Again, there's so many issues here that are transportable to other agencies because Metro North certainly has a share of viaducts as well that need rehabilitation.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Maintenance of equipment department, plant equipment maintenance from Long Island Railroad. You're on.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Bruce Weller from the Long Island Railroad, representing the M&V Department. I want to thank you for selecting the Long Island Railroad Maintenance of Equipment, Plant Maintenance Equipment Department to receive this prestigious Group Excellence in Safety Award. The PEMD is responsible, which is plant equipment maintenance, for inspections, preventive maintenance, and repairs of the Long Island Railroad's rolling stock support equipment, which is also known as shop equipment. We have 125 employees in this group, consisting of 6 crafts and management. We have electricians, machinists, sheet metal workers, pipe fitters, oilers, clerks, and gang foremen, represented by 6 unions. We have the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, International Association of Machinists, Sheet Metal Workers International Association, International Brotherhood of Firemen and Oilers, the Transportation Communication Union, and the International Railway Supervisors Association. Our employees work indoors in shops and outdoors in yards in all types of weather. Some of the safety-critical tasks that we perform include working on overhead cranes and lighting utilizing full arrest equipment, entering pits and storage tanks using confined space procedures, working on high-voltage electric circuits employing lockout-tagout protection, and working around active railroad tracks using an FRA-approved PEMD outlying points protection procedure. There's a picture in our West Side shop component changeout with our employees using overhead cranes working on the car hoist system. This is our employees in the Hillside Maintenance Complex in the component changeout shop doing maintenance using a crane. Here's a confined space entry in the Ronkonkoma Car Wash wastewater detention tank. And here's another photo showing some of the confined space entry safety equipment. This is our employees performing maintenance on an overhead crane in the Arch Street shop utilizing a scissor lift and full arrest personal protective equipment. Here our employees are working on an air compressor in a Hillside shop wearing their personal protective equipment. Our safety initiatives include safety briefings at the beginning of each of the 51 overlapping weekly shifts conducted by the gang foreman with periodic managerial oversight. American motivational speaker and best-selling author Zig Ziglar said, "People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing, and that's why we recommend it daily." The same adage applies to safety, so we give our employees a safety reminder every day. The first task of each and every work order generated by Maximo is a safety briefing relevant to the specific task being performed. Each member of the gang must sign the work order confirming and documenting that the safety briefing was conducted. All work orders for the train wash facilities include a printout of the PEMD outlying facilities protection procedure, which was created to take the tracks out of service to protect our employees from train movement. Our recent safety accomplishments include a 67% improvement in lost time and restricted duty case rate, from 2.22 in 2008 to 0.73 in 2009. The Plant Equipment Maintenance Department, consisting of approximately 125 employees, worked 202 continuous days with no reported injuries. That would be equivalent to one person working for 69 years without an accident. Our 67% reduction in 1 year is impressive, as shown graphically. Our path forward includes an enhanced safety observation process, increased safety awareness, because when our safety record improves, we have to work harder to prevent complacency. We focus on causes of accidents and near misses to prevent similar occurrences. We conduct monthly management safety meetings to develop strategies to promote safety. And we can never rest, because our goal is 0 accidents. Thank you, and do you have any questions?
Questions?
No questions. I think that's terrific. Thank you.
I do too. You've really integrated safety into your culture, and that's what it takes.
Yeah.
I hope you make 0.
Thank you.
The accident reduction program implemented by MTA Bus Company.
Richard Cerezo, Superintendent of Safety and Training, will be presenting.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Accident Reduction Program Implementation Group, I would also like to thank the Board for the honor of receiving the Chairman Safety Award and for the opportunity of sharing the details of our program. We basically had 2 significant overall program requirements, the first being to remain consistent with the existing New York City Transit Department of Buses programs that are in place right now. Also, secondly, was to focus on frontline personnel, basically being the operators and their direct supervision. The idea being that we were looking to achieve the most significant impact. Program goals, we have 4. The first one was to reduce overall collision and customer accident rates, improve the bus operators' defensive driving skills. We are striving for 100% compliance with restrictions on the use of personal electronic devices, the PEDs, and also to improve awareness of safety issues and the appropriate preventative measures. Our 3 program elements, as you see, listed right there. We're basically considering our overall mission, the equipment that we operate, the environment that we work within. Basically, these elements are listed, are tried and proven safety measures that are going to basically allow us to achieve the desired results we were after. In defining each one, the Performance Monitoring Program, otherwise known as the PMP program, is a multifaceted accident reduction program. It basically is designed to identify and provide reinstruction to bus operators who have developed poor driving records. The way it works is that a dedicated database captures and updates accident incident data on a daily basis. It then automatically identifies the operators that meet the threshold for placement into the PMP program, which currently is 4 accidents in a 12-month period. The operators are then scheduled for an intensive 2-day program that includes both classroom instruction as well as behind-the-wheel evaluation of their overall driving skills. In the classroom setting, the bus operators' accidents are basically reviewed, deficiencies are then identified, and remedial solutions are discussed in preparation for the behind-the-wheel phase of the training itself. The training stresses and reinforces defensive driving techniques using different forms such as interactive simulators, as well as a variety of audio and visual aids. After training, the operators are then returned to service and are then monitored through undercover safety observation rides while in service. Their performance rides during these observations are rated using a point system, and generally based on the results, a determination is made whether or not further action would be required. On restricting the use of the actual PEDs in conjunction with the PMP initiative, MTA Bus instituted an aggressive program towards achieving 100% compliance with the restrictions of uses on the PEDs, as well as a non-compliance with traffic regulation devices, such as red light infractions. The program entails investigating reports of infractions, and we took those from both in-house as well as from customers, and monitoring the bus operator performance. This is then accomplished via undercover rides while in customer service to identify any possible contributing factors relating to accidents and subsequently taking those preventative measures. Safety awareness initiatives on the next slide. Thank you. We have a wide variety of ways to get the word out. Basically, safety awareness articles that highlight specific accident trends have been published, be it on bus type of accidents, anything involving taxis, bicycles, mirror contact, different specific types of buses such as hybrid buses, unfortunately fatalities, some accidents also with specificity on right side. Posters were also made to highlight specific accident trends as well. They got distributed to each depot on each month, some of them targeting specific areas such as wheelchair attendant, seat belts, pedestrian statistic posters, 3 to 5 mile an hour bus turning situations, as well as pedestrian posters. The Bus Command Center works specifically with us as well, making periodic safety announcements to announce to the customers and to the bus operators for constant reminders. We also created Take One pamphlets for the customers as well as posters that were placed on the buses to inform them as well. Special information or so-called buzz boards are now in each depot. Buzz boards are updated on a regular basis with ongoing information, and we now have on an ongoing basis as well shop gates, AGM meetings, 19A classes are now always being updated to keep everyone informed as often as possible so we can see them. Okay. In the last slide, basically at the end of the day, you can see that there has been a significant level of activity out there. Safety observations are performed by managers, include the following different types, whether they be undercover, onboard observation rides, mobile observations, either from vehicles or outside at bus stops. During the observation themselves, the manager will actually remove the operator from service for any unsafe operation. If it's less severe, the manager will verbally inform the bus operator of the infraction and possibly issue a written violation. This way, the workforce basically understands through all the activity that we are definitely out there, and we are definitely taking the appropriate action when necessary. And I'm happy to say that due to this activity, as you can see, if you really do add all that up, 429 or so unsafe actions were acted upon without incident. The results are basically moving progressively towards our overall goal, and happy to say that we have implemented into MTA Bus a continually improving safety program, while we're definitely working towards bringing consistency across all 3 bus agencies. And then reported to me earlier today, we're seeing continued gains in reduced collision per million miles, reduced customer accidents per million customers, as well as reduced customer accident injuries also per million customers. And we were also informed just recently that on a bus safety board meeting that we are moving now towards zero tolerance with respect to violations of cell phone and red light infractions. And that is still ongoing, but that is going to be the overall goal. And that would be something really amazing to see. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you. Yeah.
What I've learned in working with the Safety and Security Committee is just when we think we've got most of our safety issues covered, some new device pops up, like these PEDs, and it forces us to look for new solutions to that problem. I wish I could bring these same solutions to my granddaughters.
I concur the feeling with my daughter.
The Red Letter Drill Program team from Long Island Bus.
Good afternoon. My name is John Pavetto. I'm Chief Security Officer with Long Island Bus, MTA Bus. The Red Letter Drill Initiative is an interactive field performance exercise that simulates a crisis situation. It enables our staff to practice the emergency response, the emergency response procedure and decision-making learned in training. Its goals are to improve emergency response and communication among the MTA agencies with other emergency responders, develop bus operator confidence and skills for first-time defenders, and ongoing improvements and enhancement training. It's a self-test of our emergency preparedness. It focuses on bus operators and supervisors, which are considered first responders, and focuses on where more training is needed. The reason the drill is so important is that we actually test our operators to see what their response is if they find something on the bus like a package or a powdered substance. So we actually go out there with red letters, and we actually we go to the different spots along in the system, and at the terminus we go to the driver, we hand them a red letter, and we say, okay, we'd like you to read this, and what would you do in the situation? And what that does, it gauges our training. It tells us where we, for instance, when we first started this in 2008, we went and did it at Long Island Bus, and the operators had no training. They got a 40% pass rate at Long Island Bus. Then we went, and in conjunction with Steve Vidal in the training department, we started the training at Long Island Bus because we had just come really on board there fairly recently. We started the training, and the next quarter, it went from 40% to 64%. The next quarter, it went to 88%, and the next quarter, 100% of the operators got the scenarios correct. So it's a gauge for the agencies to see how our training is and where the weaknesses in our training. And the good thing is when a driver comes and tells you something that's not correct, you actually correct them right on the spot and say, listen, this is what you said you should do. For instance, you went and you thought there was a bomb on the bus. You evacuated the passengers, you got the passengers off the bus, but you went and used your two-way radio. That could set off a bomb. So we re-instruct them to get out of the bus, to get the passengers out of the bus, to curb the bus, and to go and go to a telephone and make a call to the command center and let them know what's going on. And we have We participate with multiple departments. As I said, operations, security, safety, and training. Those departments are all involved in the red letter drill. The program elements, the employee training during refreshers, as I said, we do the red letter scenarios, we do the on-the-spot retraining. We have a security awareness initiative where we do announcements on the bus, and if you see something, say something announcements to the operators and the passengers. We constantly remind the public about that. We put up monthly safety posters, security posters. We have recently did an initiative with ID cards with an ID poster. So we have just done that. So what we've done, our achievements are we've increased employee awareness of security issues and response measures. We've improved the bus operators' response skills, and 99% correct responses on the last drill on July 14th of 2010. So a lot of credit goes to our training department when the drivers go in for their refresher courses, and that they go over the training. We've conferred with our training department, and it's a joint effort between all different departments within the agency on how to make sure that our passengers and our employees are properly protected in case of whether a terrorist attack or any other initiative. And it's a program that has really worked, and and it's not just the security department. As I said, it's also our training department, our operations department, and we're all involved in a partnership in making this program work, because the bottom line is we want to keep the public safe.
John, what percentage of your employees actually experience having a red letter drill?
What we do is from each agency, each time we do approximately 5 employees from each agency at each time. Because we got to be careful, we don't want to impact service, right, and so on. So we do 5 at each shot at each agency, and it gauges us on our training. It gauges us on what's happening. And there have been I know of one occasion where we've gotten the same employee twice, and the first time he did not so well. The second time it was excellent. So
they're chosen at random?
Yes, they are. That's correct.
It's a good program.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Storeroom operations team from Metro North Railroad.
On behalf of the storeroom operations team, Chris Garapi will be presenting.
Thanks, Ann. They usually don't give me a microphone. I don't need it, so. Good afternoon. As Ann said, I'm Chris Garapi of the storeroom operations team. The storeroom operations team receipts, maintains, distributes, and issues materials in support of Metro North's operating departments. We have 94 team members who work in 2 distribution centers and 13 satellite storerooms. Our delivery fleet has 11 vehicles, and we operate 45 pieces of material handling equipment on a 24/7 basis. Our program goals are shown here. Towards ensuring continuous improvement and to retain our focus, we introduce new initiatives to keep our program current and focus on behavior-based safety awareness. We share safety responsibilities through all levels of our workforce and foster safe behavior 24/7. To heighten awareness, we discuss outcomes and consequences of unsafe behaviors that could affect the quality of both our work and personal lives. In focusing in these areas, our overall goal is to achieve 0 injuries. The most important conversation we have in storeroom operations is safety is the most important factor in all that we do. This slide shows the variety of prepared materials that we share on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis for safety conversations and discussions. Our safety review program starts with reviewing each new team member's safety history and introducing our safety program. Safety reviews are also held on an early intervention basis with team members who have incidents early in their railroad career. Reviews are held post-incident and also with team members identified as having a high frequency of incidents. As a storeroom operations team member, working safely is your responsibility. Our program emphasizes shared safety responsibility by all team members and encourages peer-to-peer leadership. In addition to the daily sharing and discussion of thoughts and ideas on safety and wellness, both agreement and non-agreement team members participate in various safety committees both within our department and throughout the railroad. Our team participates in a broad spectrum of training and development opportunities that present the knowledge and skills needed to perform our work safely. Our safety program is introduced right away in our new supervisor and new agreement staff programs. Other development opportunities include our powered industrial truck adjunct program, environmental and hazardous waste training, and our pre-shift stretching program. The next slide shows our transportation, DOT, and driver-related training opportunities. To ensure the best possible incident management, we have developed step-by-step work aids to assist in guiding staff through a comprehensive incident management plan. Our team approach to incident reenactment provides different perspectives to identify contributing factors and causes for incidents to ensure that the best corrective action plan is put in place. All of our team members participate in the observation and audit process, and we encourage a team approach when conducting observations and audits. All of our observations and any corrective actions are summarized and shared with all locations for group discussion. In recognition of our safety achievements, we have location-based and individual awards programs. Our team has received the MTA Chairman's Award for Group Excellence on 3 occasions and was recognized by Metro North Safety Department in 2006. Our safety program was formally put in place in 1997. That year we had 11 lost time injuries. And I'm happy to say, at the end of 2009, we achieved an 82% decrease in lost time injuries from our pre-program level, with just 2. And at the bottom of this slide is our motto and why we always refer to ourselves as a team, because we believe that together everyone achieves more. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Your achievement is amazing. It's good to see. The Henry Hudson Bridge Half Moon Award from Bridges and Tunnels.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to present our safety program to you this afternoon. Accompanying me today are Mr. Frank Pascal, our operations superintendent, and Ms. Raina Bertram, our facility analyst. Also in attendance is Mr. Andrew Petrovich, our vice president of health and safety. A history of our award program. In the 1990s, MTA Bridges and Tunnels instituted a comprehensive safety program. The reason for this was simple. Injury rates were excessive. In 1996 alone, we recorded over 240 lost time injuries at MTA Bridges and Tunnels. Clearly something had to be done to reduce this number. We adopted the DuPont Safety Program, and we trained our managers to conduct safety audits and safety interventions. We also began holding regular safety meetings and looked for other ways to involve our employees. The Half Moon Award grew from that effort. The purpose of the Half Moon Award is to stimulate employee interest and involvement in our program and to recognize employees who strive for excellence in safety achievement and safety and achievement. The methodology at the monthly SAMs, which stands for Safety Action Meeting, selections are made based upon the prior month's activities. Nominations can be either verbal or in writing, and giving a brief description and citing specific examples. All attendees are members of the selection committee. After seconding, a winner or group is selected by consensus. Here you can see that's the picture of the reserved parking space. It's signed, and on the bottom right is a facsimile of the parking permit. And now I'd like to introduce Ms. Raina Bertram, who will elaborate further on some of the other elements of the program.
Communication of our safety goals and themes has been an important factor in conveying the safety message of the operations department to the employees of the Henry Hudson Bridge. The communication portion of the Henry Hudson Safety Program is broken into several different components, the first being the Safety Action Meeting. The Safety Action Meeting is basically a roundtable discussion between uniformed personnel and management where safety concerns and ideas and new procedures are brought together for discussions on how to work safely on live traffic. In addition to that, we've implemented supervisor audits, which are broken into two separate components. The first being employee intervention, which is a one-on-one interaction between the supervisors and bridge and tunnel officers where positive and corrective feedbacks are given immediately. In addition to that, our supervisors are tasked with conducting physical plant inspection. We've also incorporated communication through electronic, and we have a PowerPoint presentation that runs 24 hours upon entering and exiting the toll plaza that each and every employee receive a safety message. It begins with a spotlight on safety, and it's a detailed presentation that outlines the authority, the operation department monthly safety theme. We also incorporate a facility service announcement, which are safety tips and or safety procedure, and is based on the operation managers and supervisors' input on specific topic that they feel the employee needs to be refreshed on. We've also incorporated the Healthy Hudson. It's our belief that a fit and healthy workforce is less likely to experience an injury on duty. You will see an example of the forms that we use, the supervisor pass-down message, which allow our supervisors to speak in one voice and have one safety message given. Also, we have the facility service announcement that is based on the theme of the month, and for the month of September, our operations department has highlighted hurricane preparedness. Spotlight on Safety showed what our actual bridge hurricane preparedness is, and we also incorporated what our employees need to do at home to prepare for a hurricane. In addition, there's an example of the employee intervention that all of our supervisors are tasked to do on a daily basis. We'd like to discuss our recipients of the Half Moon Award and their distinction. Sergeant Mullen, he is our construction sergeant who has basically single-handedly helped to reduce our collision rate on the bridge during the rehabilitation of our decking. We were able to match our best year of collision reduction to 11 collisions from 2005 and matched it in 2009. Sergeant Montello was able to respond to an elderly customer who was under distress and his vehicle was out of control and was heading towards our retaining wall, and he was able to get the vehicle stopped without injury to himself, to the motorist, and to the motoring public. BTO Fletcher responded to a suicide jumper and was able to facilitate getting emergency response unit to assist in retrieving the jumper. BTM Shots, Maintainer Shots, was instrumental in painting both our upper level and lower level plaza with non-skid paint where our employees cannot sustain injury from a slip, trip, or fall stepping on the toll plaza. And Maintainer Walmsley was instrumental in preventing tree limbs from falling onto oncoming traffic. He was instrumental in identifying tree limbs that had the potential of falling onto oncoming traffic. Mr. Ryder?
Okay. The safety action meetings, SAM, we hold monthly meetings to discuss safety concerns. We bring all the unions together, all the represented groups together in one room with management and engineering. We discuss upcoming construction projects. We brainstorm ways to reduce injuries and to work safely. Here's our IOD statistics. In 2009, we accomplished 0 lost time injuries. I'm sure that's something that every manager dreams about doing. I've had the privilege of having that twice, once at the Rockaways and now at the Henry Hudson. So I take great pride in that. And you can see we reduced from 6 the year before. Okay, next. Okay. Conclusion, we face a number of challenges going forward. We have to continue to innovate and make progress with shrinking resources. We have to provide a safe environment for our customers and employees, while at the same time managing within the constraints, the budget constraints that are being imposed, which I'm sure everyone here is aware of.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Thank you. I especially like the fact that you incorporate suggestions for safety in the home so that the employee understands that safety doesn't start when you walk in the door. It's part of life, which is really very good.
Thank you. We try and get them to think safety so that it's automatic. It's an automatic response.
Thank you all. That was great. Now, the next item on our agenda are the regular safety reports and crime reports. Since we've heard of each of these in our individual committees, I won't ask you to go through them as individual pieces. But if anyone wants to make a specific comment about their agency, I'd certainly be happy to entertain that. I'd like to make a couple agency-wide observations. The first being that for the most part, the agencies are continuing to improve their safety records, which is pretty amazing when you look at how good they are right now. With respect to our crime reports, if you look at both the city transit police and the MTA police, you'll see that we're incredibly low. For MTA police, it's particularly challenging because, oddly enough, certainly Grand Central Terminal has expanded its services and amenities to customers, which also has made a larger opportunity for crime, and MTA Police has managed to keep the cap on that and keep the crime stats very low. So overall, I think 2009 was a pretty good year. Does anyone have specific things about their agency they'd like to bring forward, or do you have something you want? We obviously have an issue back here.
Something's going on.
Well, I thank you very much. In that event,
I move to adjourn, yeah.
thank you. See you all. I guess our next meeting is in December.
Really, actually, it's very interesting.
Oh, I know.